Hi Tubies, here's Alexander again, and here I present to you now a deck. This is a black and blue Infect deck, and well, a few days ago this was a standard deck, but well, right now this is not anymore standard because the Scars of Mirrodin block has went out of the cycle, and so this deck is only for modern format now or casual play, but still a really nice deck, and I want to give you a run through. So let's start here with the mana base. We start with 6 swamps and 4 islands, followed by 2 non-standard dual lands. We have here from the Mirrodin block the Darkslick Shore. It produces blue or black mana, and it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. So then we have the Drowned Catacomb. Drowned Catacomb enters the battlefield tapped unless you control an island or a swamp, and it also is a dual land. So those are really nice dual lands that don't come always tapped on the battlefield. So if you handle them right, they come on the battlefield and you can still play with them. And the last land is here the Inkmoth Nexus. Add 1 to your mana pool, or for 1 mana, Inkmoth Nexus becomes a 1/1 blink mod artifact creature with flying and infect until end of turn. It's still a land. So I wish I would have a second one of this, but well, here we go. So those are my creatures in my deck, and we will start here with a Blighted Agent. Sorry, these cards are all in German. Normally I try to get as many English cards as possible, but sometimes it don't work. Well, the Blighted Agent is a 1/1 creature for 2 mana with Infect, and he is unblockable. Really nice Infect creature, cheap and destructive. Second one on the list is here, this year, the Plague Stinger, also from Mirrodin, 1/1 flying with Infect. Then we have 4 times the Phyrexian Crusader for 3 mana. It's a 2/2 first strike, protection from red and from white, and Infect. Really brutal combination. Then we have 4 times the Hand of the Preators. 4 mana. The 3/2 creature with Infect. All other Infect creatures get +1/+1. And every time you cast a spell with a Infect creature, well, an Infect creature spell, one opponent of your choice gets a poison counter. Really effective. And last but not least, we have here the Ichorclaw Myr for 2 mana. It's a 1/1 creature with Infect, and whenever Ichorclaw Myr becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So for those of you that are not familiar with Infect, this creature deals damage to creatures in form of -1/-1 counters, and to players in form from poison counters. Well, a poison counter looks like this. This is obviously a German one. If a player has 10 or more poison counters, he loses the game. There we have another variant of winning the game. Instead of making 20 life points, you only have to kill 10. And that's the main focus on this particular deck. This focuses on getting the poison counters onto your opponent as quickly as possible. You see, most of those creatures here, those 3, are relatively cheap with 2 mana each. You can get them out quite quickly. Also, the Phyrexian Crusader with only 3 mana is just a little bit higher, and then the biggest of them is the Hand of the Preators with a 3/2 for 4 mana. Those are my creature base. So now we have here the little tools in the set. We start with here 2 cards from blue. Divination, it allows you to draw 2 cards. Those are really nice to get you the cards that you want or you need. And then we have here the tools that make the deck really nasty. We have 4 times the Distortion Strike. For just 1 blue mana, it's from the Zendikar block, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn and is unblockable this turn. And has rebound. So at the beginning of your next upkeep, you will cast this spell from your graveyard without paying the cost. So 2 spells for 1 blue mana, unblockable creature, absolutely perfect. So with this, your creature gets boosted up from, let's say, here the Ichorclaw Myr from 1/1 to a 2/1 creature. So you would actually make 2 poison counters. You can boost that even more up with Unholy Strength. 2 times. We have here for 1 black mana, the creature gets +2/+1. And Virulent Swipe, this is an instant. Target creature gets an additional +2/+0 and gains Death Touch until end of turn, and has also rebound. So let's say we have here our nice little Ichorclaw Myr with an Unholy Strength. Then we cast on it a Distortion Strike and a Virulent Swipe. And with this 1/1 creature, you deal actually 1 damage, 2, 3 damage, 4 damage, 5, 6 damage. And that is equal to 6 poison counters. And you only need 10. So, if you get this through 2 times, your opponent is dead. But there are also other tricks here in my tool bag. We have here 4 times the Grasp of Darkness to kill enemy creatures. The target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. And here we have a few cards for the late game. We have here, let's first start with this here. We have the, how it is called in English, the Mimic Vat. For 3 mana you get an artifact that can copy creatures on the battlefield that are moving to the graveyard. So if my opponent kills me a Ichorclaw Myr, well, guess what? I produce more of them, and more and more and more. Each turn, Ichorclaw Myrs for a win. Then we have 2 times Liliana Vess. It's a Planeswalker. For 5 mana, you get a Planeswalker with 5 loyalty counters. For +1, target player discards a card. For -2, search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. So with it, you can actually get the card you actually need right now on the top of your library. And for -8, put all creature cards in all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. That's always nice. And all of your previously killed creatures get back up. Then we have 3 heavy hitters here. Well, every deck should need, for late game, at least 3 really hard hitting creatures to deal with something that an opponent might produce. We have here Skithiryx, the Blighted Dragon. For 5 mana, you get a 4/4 creature, flying, infect, with haste for 1 black mana, and for 2 mana you can regenerate him. Really powerful creature. And then we have 2 times the Quicksilver Gargantuan. It's a 7/7 creature for 7 mana, but it comes to the battlefield as a copy of any other creature you choose. Instead, it is a 7/7. So, for example, if you have an Ichorclaw Myr out there, well, this Quicksilver Gargantuan is a 7/7 Ichorclaw Myr with Infect. Very nice. So, I hope you liked this little in-view about this deck. This is an Infect blue-black deck, like I said. And for casual play, this is quite nice. Well, I know this deck isn't competitive with legacy decks or super expensive decks. You can get this whole deck for, well, I guess maybe €20. around the boundary. So, I hope you liked this little video, and we see us in the next one. Your Alexandra.